Hey everybody, welcome to the next SciCraft episode. So today we're gonna continue where we left off in the last one at the chunk loading grid below the giant witch hut, which is the part of the witch farm main storage. Might be a good idea to recap what we've been doing here for all the chunk loading in the last few episodes. So the plan is to bring all the drops we get from several witch huts or witch farms that are spread around the world to a central storage. So for example, we have a double witch hut, which is about 30,000 blocks away from spawn. Gonna AFK there with one account, and then we have another double witch hut, which is also about that far away from spawn, just in another direction. Gonna AFK there with a different account. So we have several witch huts running at the same time, witch farms, and all the drops are transported to this place here, which is relatively close to spawn. It's like 1k blocks away. Now we sort the items directly at the witch hut and put them all into shulker boxes, and the shulker boxes are sent through the nether to this place here. So we already have chunk loading grids in the nether to send them here, and now we're setting up the chunk loading grid below the giant witch hut, where we have the main storage on top. So in the back, Methods is already working on wiring up the hoppers, since this also should be turned off if we don't need it anymore, and in case we need it again, then it will be turned on. Alright, so we're just gonna finish that, and then the next step is adding the item elevator, which brings the items up to the giant witch hut to about 100 blocks above us. So the project is coming along nicely, so we have the completed chunk loading grid, and there's also a dropper elevator. So the items fly through the portal, get picked up by this hopper here, and then there's a comparator on top. So once we got an item going through there, we activate the chunk loading. So we just push this redstone block away, then all the hoppers will be unpowered. And then a little bit later here we have the dropper elevator. So there's just one thing left, which is adding the shulker box sorter that I built up in a previous episode. So we already have everything creative. Just need to get a schematic now, hook it up to this thing, and then we're actually done. Awesome. So now we also have the redstone here, and we can finally try it out. So I'll just put in a shulker box with redstone dust. Okay. And there it goes, and it should land here in the first chest. Awesome. Alright, I forgot to bring the item frames, but we need to mark out those chests, and then we can put in just a few shulker boxes and see if that works. And then we can take those back to the quad hut farm and put it into there and see if it arrives here as well. Alright, so here it is, the moment of truth. Let's put in the shulker boxes at the quad farm. Okay, so now they should be going through the nether, come out at the other side and be sorted in automatically at the which for main storage. So just gonna wait an additional minute here so we don't interfere with any chunk loading stuff, and then we can check it out if it worked. Alright, here we are. Let's check. Yes, 2 boxes. Perfect. Glowstone.
Awesome.
Yeah. Gunpowder. Sugar. Spider eyes. Bottles and sticks. Okay, it's working. So we could start AFKing now. It's quite awesome. But we still wanted to a bit of decoration here, so we fixed this up, hide the redstone, and we need a staircase going down here, so there's still stuff left to do, but at least we have a working system now finally. So 4 huts, 4 farms are hooked up. We have 2 more, which we can hook up in the next few weeks. And then we'll add the other huts also, one after the other. So it's 2 days later. We've been grinding really hard the last few days in order to get this finished. And now it's maybe time to lean back and reflect on the things we've done. And also I had some ideas what we could improve, and there's also some stuff in the rush of completing this didn't completely think through. There's also a new issue I want to show you. I've never seen something like that before at one of the witch huts. Let's quickly fly there. Yeah, it's this one. So that's something I never observed before. So here we have the hopper, pattern, or the hopper array collects all of the items. Then we just send the items over a single line of hoppers in order to sort the items out. And now the weird thing is, for some reason, we got sticks coming out on this side. So for some reason, the sticks are able to go over the first hopper, or the stick filter, and into this chest. And it makes no sense at all why this would happen. I mean, this hopper would need to be blocked somehow, so it can't pick up the item from the top hopper. And it makes no sense at all why this happens. So we've never had anything like that. Also, I don't think it's item duplication or whatever, but that would actually explain it if something is weird going on with item duplication. But it's not in the chunk board as far as I can see. And we have a fix for hopper duplication. So this is still a mystery to me, why we got sticks coming out despite it running on over the filters. I was even thinking maybe we could just loop this, so if I turn the hopper around and it points into the hopper right next to it, we would loop the items around. There should be no chance that we get any other items in there, so that might be actually a fix for this. So this is something I just want to show you. Maybe somebody else has experienced that. Let me know. It only happens at that farm, by the way. The other farms are fine. So really weird stuff. I noticed another little issue or oversight, which actually led to a lot of trouble. Alright, so here I'm at the middle of the quad farm, where we have the chest set up. We shoot the items through the portal. And this system actually got broken. So the thing that happened was really stupid. So we had a baby pigman spawning in the portal. And then the baby pigman was able to climb up and get into the water stream. So I think this glass block wasn't there before, so the pigman climbed on top of the glass block, and then he was caught in the water stream. And then he suffocated under this packed ice block, and we had a rotten flesh item in the water stream, which got put into the item elevator and then into the double chest. And this actually broke the system. We lost a lot of items because of this. because of despawning, because since we had a single item into the chest, we never reached signal strength 15. And yeah, we need signal strength 15 in order to send out the order to empty the dropper and the double chest, and this completely blocked the system. So we had the hopper in the back filled up, and yeah, a lot of items despawned because of this. So I made sure that this doesn't happen by just placing a glass block there. Now we should be sure that no zombie pigman could get into it. It might also be a good idea to add maybe a filter that only lets shulker boxes into the double chest. This might be something we could add on top, in case somebody accidentally throws an item into it and breaks the system. Yeah. So here's something we didn't think about in the rush to complete this project. This is the line going towards spawn and permaloader. And we actually keep this area completely loaded as long as this chunk loading grid is loaded, which is kind of unnecessary. So it would have been enough just to send a signal through and then unload the chunks again. So by powering the hoppers, would have been enough. But in the end, it probably doesn't make much of a difference. I mean, this area is loaded here for 2 minutes, and if those few chunks are loaded also for 2 minutes, it wouldn't make much of a difference. But we might even try to fix this later. Then another thing, this is a bit ugly here with the pulse extender. Probably make a proper solution. But at the top we actually also fixed some things or added additional system on top. So in case we accidentally put an item into the system that can't be processed by the shulker box sorter. For example, I don't know, a netherrack block falls into the system somehow, or I don't know, whatever could happen, or you got a non-filled shulker box of wrong items, accidentally put a shulker box with a few powered rails in there and then completely broke the system here. That's why we have a filter system on top. So we have the item elevator, and here we sort out non-shulker box items. So we put the items here into the dropper, which gets powered and tries to shoot the item into a shulker box. And you can't put shulker boxes in a shulker box. That's why it would fail for those. Then it would be picked up by the hopper below and transported further here. So here we would sort out non-shulker box items. And here we check if the shulker box has or is completely filled with signal strength 15. So we quickly dispense the item, break it again, quickly take an output with the comparator, and you only get a signal if you have signal strength 15. In case we get signal strength 15, then hold on. Okay, let's try to land. Alright, another try. Sometimes flight duration 3 is really a pain. In most cases it's useful. Okay, so there's another dropper that tries to shoot the item over if we get signal strength 15. In case we have a lower signal strength with the shulker box, then it's put into the other chest. And this, at least filters out items that get into the system by accident. Otherwise it would break it, which already happened, because I accidentally put in the rails, as I said. And there's another slight issue or oversight. If you go from the Guardian farm, which is close to spawn, back to the Nether hub, we land in the wrong portal now, because it links to the portal at the bottom, so this one here. But this is not nice, we should come out at the Nether hub like before. So there's probably 2 ways to fix this. Either we only turn on the portal if we actually need it. So we could add a dispenser that places a lava block inside of the portal block in order to break it, and then another dispenser, flint and steel, in order to reignite it. Or we try to move the portal up a little bit. That also might be a fix. I'm not sure what to do about this issue yet. So yesterday we actually continued with grinding. We spent 10 hours in total and added the second dropper line from a double witchhead. So while the first one was just a few hundred blocks, this one was 5,000 blocks. So I could probably fly in that direction for 3 or 4 minutes and it wouldn't even reach our destination. So it was an insane effort. 3 people working on it straight for 10 hours pretty much. We also streamed the whole process on my channel, and then panic took over for the rest. And yeah, we got it finished. Alright, so here you can also see there's something we need to work on, which is the merging point of the dropper lines. I think methods already did that. So first we have a little intermediate storage in case we got items coming in from both sides, so we just store them in a chest meanwhile, and then we send them further to the portal. Now we also need to work on the chunk loading system, because the chunk loading system here, which goes to the whole portal at the main storage, is hooked up to the quad hut portal at the moment. So this would work fine, but obviously if you get items coming in from the other side, you wouldn't even load those chunks now. So the idea is probably just to completely split it up and hook it up to basically the merging point, which controls the further chunk loading. So the idea is maybe activate the chunk loading as soon as we got an item in this dropper here. Then we can also disconnect the other chunks again and just keep the chunks loaded from this point. It's also the strategy for further merging points. So this is kind of unnecessary to load everything beyond the merging point. Alright, I think that's actually what I'm gonna do next. Alright, so this is already done. It was pretty straightforward, not much trouble there. So we got the first dropper where both lines connect to. Once we get an output, we turn on the observer clock here, powering the rest of the dropper line. Additionally, we have a little pulse extender here, and there's the chunk loading system hooked up to it. So once we've got an output here, and then even 9 seconds later with the comparator pulse extender, we unpower this redstone dust line. And here we have a little chunk loading head. We just got a loop of 4 chunks, which makes it play unloading safe. So in case some other players near the nether hub and moves around, unloads chunk just by moving away from the area, it would make sure that only 2 chunks would be unloaded at the same time, and then we have the other hoppers that reload the chunks basically in the next tick. So no matter what the player does, it at least keeps this head loaded. And from here we also go over to the rest of the line with the rest of the hopper loading grid. Right, so this is completely hooked up, and there's actually not much left to do, so maybe let's travel to the double bit shot and also try to hook it up immediately. So we're back at the double bit shot, and this was also an oversight back then. We need to shoot the item in a water stream first in order to get enough momentum, and then let it go through a portal. So we need to take this down, add a little water stream, then we can try it out and see where they come out on the nether side. So I added the water stream. It's really nothing special. Just make 2 turns, align the items against the side and send them through the portal, and they still have some nice momentum left to fall out on the other side. Alright, so actually completely done. We've already done some work on the nether side again, and there's already the bot VFKing Richard number 5 and 6. Oops, we'll get up there. There's still a slight issue. Whoa. This portal here connects to the bottom of the nether, and it should obviously connect to the piston bolt portal again. So we need to move this about 10 or 15 blocks higher, and it would connect to the top again. But at the moment it's quite nice, since I want to come out on the bottom anyway. Alright, so you can see what happens here. This is pretty much the same as with the quad farm. Items shoot out and have some momentum left, bounce against the glass block and fall down top of the hopper, and then we start the complete dropper line, and also the chunk loading starts here. So this is the chunk loading grid for the 5x5 plus the chunk loading grid until the dropper lines merge, which I've shown earlier. Alright, so we got 6 switch shots running at the same time, which is quite awesome. It's about 36,000 items per hour. At the moment, we have a goal to go at least to 16 witch shots running at the same time. So we have the perimeters for 10 witch farms, so we're gonna add 3 more perimeters, and then we also need to do all the lag optimization again. It's a lot of work, and this project is by far the biggest project we've ever done, really, in SciCraft. Just the witch farms. So the goal would be to have 16 witch huts, which is about 100,000 items per hour, or it's kind of a quadruple witch hut. So 4 quadruple witch huts. And it's a nice round number, 10,000 drops per hour. So in terms of redstone dust, this would be 12,000 per hour, which is not even a shulker box full of redstone blocks per hour. So witch huts are quite slow, that's why we want so many of those. Alright, so I think I'm gonna end the episode here. A lot of work was put into the episode again. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day. Bye bye.